In this lesson, I will focus on the capabilities of font formatting in cells. This is similar to text formatting in Word. In Excel, there are many changes I can do to help my data become more user-friendly and easy on the eye. I can change the font size and color. I can make the letters bold, italic, underlined, and much more. Of course, the first thing to do before making any change is to select the cell or cells that I want to apply the formatting. For example, I will select the range of cells B2 to D13, and then from the Home tab and the Font palette, I have many options to do any formatting I want. I will click on the tool with the B on it to make the letters bold. I will click on the tool with the I to make them italic. If any of these tools appear already selected, I can click on them again to deactivate them. I will click again on the I to deactivate italics and on the B to deactivate bold. I will now click on the tool with the letter U to add another line, or I can click on the arrow next to the U to open a list with much more options. From here I will choose the double underline. Now I will click on the U again, and since it was already selected, I deactivated the underlining. Generally, I can choose any combination I want from these tools to be applied on their own or all together. Also in the font palette, as the name indicates, I can set the font for my data. I will click on the arrow of the font tool, and here you can see a list with all available fonts appearing in alphabetical order. I can scroll down and choose any font I want, or if I already know the name of the font I want to use, I can type it in the font tool field to find it quicker. For example, I'm interested in the Tahoma font, so I will write the first letters T-A-H, and as you can see, it appeared on the top of the list. Now I will simply press enter to apply it. This way, instead of scrolling to search where a specific font is located, I can quickly search it by name, provided of course that I already know the font I want to apply. This is especially convenient in fonts like Tahoma, which is far down the list alphabetically. Now from the font palette, I can also change the size of the colors, the size of the letters, or generally the size of any element inside the cell. This can be done from the tool right next to the font list called the font size. I will open the font size list and I will change the size to 11, for example. Notice that right next to the font size list, there are some tools that allow me to increase or decrease the size without using the list. I will click once on the tool with the bigger capital A and the arrow pointing upwards, and the text size increases. I will click once on the tool with the smaller capital A and the arrow pointing downwards, and the text decreases. Now if I want a font size that is not in the list, I can simply type it in. For example, let's say I want the letters to have size 7. I will open the font size list and notice that there is no option for size 7. I will type the number 7 and I will press enter. Now I will type the number 10, for example. I will press enter again, and so the letter size now is changed to 10. I can also change the font color from the tool with the capital A that has a colored line right below. I will open the font color list, and now I can choose whatever color I want from the ones displayed here, or if I want even more colors, I can click on the option More Colors. There are two interesting choices here, the currently selected black color and the white color on the other side of the spectrum. Sometimes you might want to make the letters white, and it can be difficult to understand that you can choose the white color from here unless you already know it is here. If the range of colors here do not satisfy me, I can select any color I want from the Custom tab. From here I can click inside the colors and drag. Now it seems like the color does not change because the regulator on the right, which sets the intensity of the color, is set to the maximum. I will reduce it to about half, and I will click again inside the colors and drag. As you can see, the color is now visible on the bottom right corner. I will leave the color I randomly selected, and I will click OK here, so this color is applied as the font color. All this is called font formatting because the changes are applied to the letters or digits themselves inside the cells. Whether they are numbers, dates, or text, it doesn't matter, but it goes to the letters or digits. Notice that the font palette has a dialog box arrow as well. I will click on it and notice that I actually opened the Format Cell dialog box that I showed you in the previous lesson, but now it opened in a different tab. As you can see, the Number tab also exists, but here I'm interested in the Font tab. From this tab, I have the option to do all the font formatting you saw earlier. I can choose the font type, the font size, the font color, but there are some additional options in this dialog box. For example, in Underline, I will open the list and I will select double accounting. Notice in the preview box that there is a slight difference compared to the regular double underline you saw earlier. The difference is that there is some distance between the letters and the accounting underline, while in the regular underline, the line touches the letters. Another option here is to make the letters be superscript or subscript, or to have a strike through. I will select the strike through and I will click OK to apply these formatting changes. The last thing I want to share with you for this lesson is the Format Painter, which you might remember from Word if you have already used it. I will select cell B2 and then I will go to the ribbon and on the clipboard palette, and from here I will click on the tool with the brush icon, which is the Format Painter tool. Now I will select the range H2 to H4, and as soon as I release the mouse in the selected area, all the formatting of cell B2 was applied to the range H2 to H4. The logic of the Format Painter is that it can take all the formatting applied on one cell and apply it to another cell or a range of cells. It is interesting how the formatting brush works when you have multiple cells selected. I will select the range from B2 to B13. I will press the Format Painter once, and I will do a simple click here on cell E2, which is at the beginning of the range E2 to E13. With this simple action, the entire range was formatted. If the selected area has cells with different formats, these formats will be applied correspondingly. Let me show you what I mean with an example. I will first click on the Undo button so that columns E and F have their original formatting again. Now let's first make some formatting changes. I will select the area C2 to C13 and I will open the font color list to choose another color. Now I will select cell C3 and for this cell only I will activate bold letters and I will change the font color to something different. Also I will select cell B13 and I will open the font dialog box. I will open the underline list. I will choose no underline, for example, and I will remove the strike through. In font size, I will make the letter size, for example, 14, and I will click OK here. Alright, let's now see how the Format Painter will work. I will select the cell range from B2 to C13. I will click on the Format Painter once, and I will go to cell E2 to make a simple click. The area that starts from E2 and is the same size as the area I had selected received the corresponding formats. Notice cell F3 and cell E13 that took the respective formats of cells C3 and B13. Finally, let me show you one last thing of the Format Painter. I will select cell C3 and this time I will do a double click on the Format Painter. Now I have the ability to click on various cells or areas and apply the specific formatting of cell C3. I will click on cell H7, cell H10, cell E5, and I will select the area from B2 to B5, and I will also click on cell A6. Notice that everywhere the formatting is applied without losing the Format Painter and without having to select again and again cell C3 to copy its format. For cell A6, remember that what I said in the previous lesson, since it has a number format, the date is lost and the corresponding number that Excel uses to store dates is displayed. To get rid of the Format Painter, I will simply press the Escape key on the keyboard and the Format Painter is gone. If I now click on a cell, it only selects it. So, what you need to remember here is that from the font palette, I have the ability to change things that concern the font. Also, the font palette, in the font palette there are the tools that are responsible for the shading and borders, but I will talk about this in a future lesson. From the font dialog box, I can make some additional changes and use some more features that are here and not displayed in the ribbon. Finally, you also saw that what this little brush over here called the Format Painter can do. I use the Format Painter to format individual cells based on single cells, areas of cells, based on different ranges, and even multiple cells around the worksheet using the double-click feature on the Format Painter. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.